A quiet, suburban neighborhood basked in the golden hues of the late afternoon sun as an elderly couple strolled down the sidewalk, enjoying the fresh air. They were my parents, both blind, both strong, and both simply minding their own business. My father held his cane firmly, while my mother gently held onto his arm, their dark glasses shielding their eyes from the sun they could no longer see. From across the street, a sharp voice sliced through the peaceful atmosphere. "Hey, you two! What do you think you're doing?" A blonde woman in a designer tracksuit marched towards them, her face twisted in suspicion. This was Karen, self-proclaimed ruler of the neighborhood, always ready to stick her nose where it didn't belong. My mother paused, confused. "Excuse me," Karen scoffed. "Don't play dumb. You're casing houses, aren't you? Walking up and down the street like this. Suspicious behavior?" My father, ever the patient man, gave a small, polite nod. "Ma'am, we live in this neighborhood. We're just out for a walk." Karen folded her arms, eyeing their dark glasses like they were some sort of criminal disguise. "Yeah, right. Who wears sunglasses that dark unless they're up to no good? Either you show me some ID, or I'm calling the cops." Before my parents could respond, Karen yanked my father's cane away, nearly causing him to stumble. "Oh, you're blind. Sure you are. That's the oldest trick in the book," she sneered. My mother gasped, trying to steady him, but Karen wasn't done. "If you don't leave this street right now, I'll make sure you never come back." That's when my phone rang. I was finishing up a meeting at the police station when I saw my mother's name flash on my screen. Her voice trembled as she told me what was happening. I didn't even hesitate. Minutes later, I pulled up in my unmarked police vehicle, stepping out in full uniform. My badge gleamed under the sunlight as I approached the scene. Karen was still berating my parents, waving her phone in the air as she waited for the police to arrive. "Ma'am, step away from them." Karen spun around, her mouth already open to argue, until she saw my uniform. Her face went pale. "Oh, officer, this is just a misunderstanding. I was just looking out for the neighborhood." I stepped closer, my voice calm but firm. "By harassing two elderly people for taking a walk? By stealing a blind man's cane? By calling the cops on my parents?" Karen stumbled backward. Your parents?" I nodded. "Yes, and this is assault and harassment." The real police officers, who had arrived in response to Karen's call, listened as I detailed the situation. My parents confirmed everything, and several neighbors who had been watching from their porches chimed in with their own accounts. Karen's confidence crumbled as she realized she was the one in trouble. I didn't know. You thought you could judge people based on their appearance," I cut in. "But the law doesn't work like that. Not in my neighborhood." In the end, Karen was charged with harassment and had to face legal consequences for her actions. Meanwhile, my parents continued their peaceful walks without fear. And Karen? Well, let's just say she kept her mouth shut every time she saw them again.